the digs are coming too from this group behind. Two Saur Sojasun riders represented, Garmin, Liquigas, and of course Endura in the form of Jonathan Tiernan-Locke, who's starting to show the pain on his face.
Yeah, Bartosz here just trying to crouch down on the descent here, this short, sharp descent, just trying to stay with these three riders.
And the gap inside a minute now with 7.5 kilometers to go. It's hard to imagine that this group behind, but they've relatively fresh legs. They haven't been chasing. They've been sitting in the wheels all day. And now these riders up front who've been going up and over and really laying down the maximum power they could for the length of time they're out there. Now they're starting to feel it, but will they be able to hang on? Just 50 seconds now between them and the race leaders behind.
Yep, 16%, that sign there for this descent. Sharp, technical descent through the shadows there, and all four riders so far have made it through as we just go back to the group chasing them.
And the group up front of the chasing group, Jonathan Tiernan-Locke goes to the front again. Caruso onto his wheel like a shot. Nathan Haas is never far from Jonathan Tiernan-Locke, but look at that for a picture of concentration and intensity. And he's focused on only one thing, and that's going for it. And it's great to see. It's fascinating to see a yellow jersey not content just to sit in the wheels of the other riders, but trying to make the pace, because he knows he's got to try and distance himself from Leigh Howard.
Coppel here, the French rider, trying to go across now. He's jumped across to the four leaders to join the two Spaniards from Escatel.
That's great effort from Coppel, finished in the top 15 in the Tour de France a few years ago, and also third in the under-23 competition at the Tour de France. Hasn't really made it as a big stage race contender, more of a time trial rider, and this not really your average time trial course. So it's going to be a tough ask for him to hang on with these other riders.
David Clark there, number 22, Node 4 Giordano, has made this group. Who else is there? Looks like there's a GB jersey. That's Josh Edmondson. I'm pretty sure that that's Josh, the rider who really did come to the fore in yesterday's stage in the final few kilometres to go clear and try and go across to the two riders.
Euskaltel, sorry, Rob, I have a great opportunity here. They have two riders up there, and it looks as if Urtasun has pretty strong legs.
But I tell you who has got strong legs at the moment, that's that rider we're looking at here, really tapping out of tempo. He doesn't look fatigued whatsoever at the moment. The cadence that he's holding as we go back yet again to these four riders, still 55 seconds with 6 kilometres to go. Pretty sure that the winner of today's stage is going to come from one of four of these as Sanchez takes up the pace on the front.
And Jonathan Tiernan-Locke looked behind, and he had Damiano Caruso on his wheel. He's 23 seconds behind on general classification, and Tiernan-Locke said, any chance of a dig out? And he got a shake of the head. Caruso is really suffering there.
He is gritting his teeth there. It's not a choice of, I don't want to ride it, so I can't, as we see that style there of Dave Clark on the back here, number 22, Node 4 Giordano rider. Great riding by him. He certainly enjoys these kind of roads.
They've pulled the team cars from the break out, perhaps a little earlier in terms of distance, as you might expect, but team cars are all out of it, so it's a match race between these four riders up front and the expanding group of general classification contenders led by Jonathan Tiernan-Locke. A few riders have managed to clip across to it, but there's very few riders doing any work. Indeed, there's really only Tiernan-Locke. It's left to him to try and see what he can do. Less about chasing these riders and more about putting as much distance as he possibly can between himself and Leigh Howard.
And the rider who, if he wants to win the stage, needs to apply pressure on the uphill, and that was Bartosz, as we see Marcin Białobłocki being brought back from the remnants of that original break as Josh Edmondson goes on the attack. Wow, Josh Edmondson, the young GB rider, pushing forward now.
Oh, what a fantastic performance by Josh Edmondson, 2 days in a row. He's a young rider, but clearly has wonderful powers of recovery. And Edmondson has managed to go clear of Jonathan Tiernan-Locke. Tiernan-Locke won't be too concerned about Josh Edmondson. He's not really a contender overall.
No, he's at 6 minutes 15 in 15th place. It's a good move for him. He's just going for the stages. Ivan Bartosz, this is what he needs to do. If he wants to take this stage, he needs to go on the hills. He's got rid of his main competitor now, I think, in Sanchez, who's just starting to lose ground.